Hello, I'm Andrew Green. I wanted to talk today briefly about carrots. This is my carrot bed. It's about 8 metres long, 25 foot long. I sow two varieties of carrot, early Norns, early in the year, and Autumn King. In fact, the Autumn King do a lot better, but I like the band of the Norns. They're under the enviromesh because of carrot root fly. Enviromesh, again, nylon mesh with very small holes. Carrot root fly flies along the ground, lays its eggs down in the soil next to the carrot, and then when the grubs hatch out, they tunnel into the carrots, making those nasty black holes and tunnels in them, sometimes making the carrot completely unusable. I find this works brilliantly well to keep virtually all of the root fly off. There's only three methods to deal with root fly. One is to make the soil so toxic that the eggs will die. The second is to make the carrots so toxic that the grubs will die. The third is to cover it completely so the root fly can't get on. We don't use the first two methods because that's ridiculous chemical methods. We use the third one. Keep the pests off and then you don't get any problems. Let's have a look at the carrots. I sow, again quite close together, not as close as I used to. I used to hand weed the whole bed, but these days I sow about 9-10 inches apart, which means you can get a hoe down between the rows, and hoeing off the weeds down the rows will generally be all that's sufficient. I never ever thin carrots. I don't see any point at all. You just basically let them grow. Some will be little like that. Some will be medium sized like that one. We have had some absolute monsters this year. I'm looking to see if I can find one. Help. My assistant will tell me when there's a particularly big one. I think I can see it there. Treading on the bed, which I don't do. I think this is a monster. Yes. That's like one of the biggest carrots I've ever seen. It's been a particularly brilliant year for carrots for some reason. So yes, they will grow quite happily. You get big ones, you get medium-sized ones, you get touchy ones. Don't bother to thin carrots, you're wasting your time. One thing about them I should say, in order to germinate they need to be constantly moist, and I mean constantly. I always end up sowing them in the middle of March and it always seems to be dry. So every day I go out and water them. If they're not constantly moist they won't come up, same with beetroot. You can cover them with a sheet and keep the sheet wet and just keep checking under the sheet to see whether they come up. If they don't come up, try again. Don't give up with carrots, they're brilliant, they taste fantastic. They're a great crop to have for a large amount of the year. That's all.